So you watched the Daniel Bryan retiring on Raw, and you saw the aftermath on W Networks. I didn't see what happened afterwards with everyone coming out, Triple H and.
So I didn't watch the entire part. As soon as Daniel Bryan got backstage, that's when I shut it off.
Okay.
However, all of the other wrestlers and Vince McMahon and all them remained out afterwards for a few. And Titus O'Neil, as Vince McMahon was leaving, I'm not exactly sure why he would have done it, but it wasn't a big deal. He playfully grabbed at Vince's arm as he was walking away. I think the mood was one of celebration and one of joy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't sad.
Yeah, it wasn't sad. It was definitely...
it was sad, but it wasn't like people were... It was
people...
Celebration day.
It was celebration. It was joy. I think the wrestlers were just kind of having fun, celebrating one of their friends, and they were being themselves. And Titus O'Neil was probably acting playfully and was, grabbed at Vince. I don't know what his the whole point was, but everyone says it was a playful grab. Titus was laughing when he went to, grab his arm.
It was at the end of the broadcast. You can see it happen, and Titus O'Neil, you can see him smiling.
Yeah. So, apparently, for that grievous infraction, Vince McMahon suspended Titus O'Neil initially for 90 fucking days. Now, we're talking about a guy who, by all accounts, is a really good dude, who does charity work, who has been recognized for being a fantastic father, who is kind of a company man. He has never ever been truly popular, but he's getting there now.
I think he's getting...
But he's always been a workhorse, and he really isn't a bad... He's actually a quite good wrestler for his size. 90 days. That's no pay. That's embarrassing. I mean, you're shaming. You're shaming. And they said that. I mean, they even said so. They dropped it to 60s is what happened. But the fucked up thing is when you read that, 60 is how long you get suspended for your second fucking drug infraction. Now,
you can watch this video. Nintendo. WWE took this video down because it looks bad. So basically, at the end of it, when the cameras go off obviously this was not on Raw. This is on WWE Network. So Vince is walking away. He's got Stephanie in front of him. Triple H is behind him, and so you can see Titus reach his arm out and grab Vince's arm and kind of pull him around a little bit. And Vince flips out, and you can see him push at Titus, and Titus is smiling. You can see it. And then it goes to black, face to black, and Triple H is looking around, and I guess Vince just fucking lost his mind. He just lost his cool.
Yeah,
it's really strange because it wasn't like it wasn't like he was breaking kayfabe that much. It was for retirement. It was like they were all out, like you said, they were having fun. It wasn't televised on Raw. So Vince wasn't in character. So it wasn't like, I don't think he was doing something obscene or really out of whack. It was just like, oh, it's playful. Maybe they had that sort of relationship to begin with. I would think so, or else why the hell would you do that? I mean, was it smart to do that? Probably not entirely smart.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't smart, but it was also harmless.
It was harmless, though, in the grand scheme of things.
Yes.
Like Vince could have turned around and smiled at him, and then no one would have cared, or no one would.
Maybe Titus, for whatever reason, wanted to give him a fucking half hug or some shit. I mean, we don't know.
But this turned me off. When I found that it was originally 90 days, now it's 60 days. This turned me off in such a way that, I honestly feel like that my level of interest in the product has dropped alone from seeing... You always see the stories about how Vince is behind the stage, about how if guys rub him the wrong way or whatever, he's a mean prick. Now you actually saw it.
Yeah.
With your own eyes, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
He really is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That can just, in a blink of an eye, try to ruin you or your career for absolutely no reason at all. And you saw it on screen.
If Titus O'Neil isn't at WrestleMania, I mean...
Well, he's not going to be. Because it's April 3rd, and 60 days retroactively, he's just going to miss it.
What I'm hoping for is that they've just fucking dropped this because it's going to look...
It's disgusting.
It looks really bad for them.
It's absolutely... He's been wrestling singles matches every week on Raw, taking on the social outcast. It's not like he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
He's not wrestling with his tag team partner. He's getting good pops.
Yeah.
He'd be a solid mid-card guy. He's doing, like I said, tons of charity work. He's always in a suit. He's like the what was it, Susan B. Komen, the breast cancer stuff. He's always doing that shit.
Yeah,
You're going to treat this a company, man?
There's another picture. Like, every picture you see of him, he's, like, in front of, like, you know, one of those background banners for, like, you know, cancer research or boys club or girls and boys club. And it's just like, this is what he does.
This is a company guy.
Yeah.
And you're going to treat him like this?
So what I read a little bit further in was...
Oh, Susan G. Komen, not B. Komen.
Yeah. And this really upsets me is the reason given was that Vince wanted to make an example of him. Because Vince wants the company to be portrayed as more straight-laced and serious. And frankly, I think that is absolutely the wrong direction you want to go in. You have spent so long not listening to your fans, giving them boring matches, not giving them what you want. It's time to let your fucking guys have a little fun. And I do agree that, you know, you got to do some kayfabe when you're in the ring and you're actually on the show. You got to play your character. You got to do what you got to do. But that wasn't his infraction. It's not like he suddenly broke character in the middle of the ring and just started fucking off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, whatever he was trying to do, because every report I've read of it has been like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. What the fuck? But also, what the fuck? 90 days? That's stupid as shit. He wants to use him as an example to send. The other thing was to send a message to the locker room that things need to straighten up and become more serious. And it's like,
fuck you, Vince.
Way to take all the fun out of these people's careers.
It also means that now everyone's gonna have a fear of even trying to do something different, or to talk to you about something, because you're a fucking straight-laced piece of trash.
Yeah, and it's fucked up because you just watched a guy retire for injuries he sustained, making money for you, and you are telling and
a guy that questioned authority and went against the grain, and got over in spite of you, and now you're telling people to act right and shape up.
So you're telling these guys who make money for you, who put their bodies on the line and their brains on the line every week, that they're not allowed to have a little fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, and
which is what people want to see.
Yes.
People like when you know who's the most popular people right now on the roster? New Day.
Yeah.
You know why? They break the fourth wall. They reference storylines that might have happened 10, 12 years ago.
They play fucking Final Fantasy music on a trombone. I mean, and that's what's worrying me. Like, you're sending a message to the locker room.
And they got over in spite of the shitty characters that were developed. Yeah. They weren't originally portrayed as these guys that are just goofy and
I love
fun.
all three of them.
They originally were portrayed as some, what the fuck is this? What is this, 1992? What is this, Men on a Mission sort of bullshit? That's how they originally were the first 6 months.
And they broke up and got back together, I think, like a couple of times before they finally settled on this. So my concern is, if you're sending the message you can't have fun, then what's going to happen in the New Day? Those guys are probably fucking jokesters and pranksters backstage. Are you telling me that in your audience... Don't forget, Vince, you have a fucking audience. Your audience audience fucking loves them.
We are in the social media age now. Yeah. According to you're the guys with Twitter. What do you think is going to happen next Raw? Titus is a guy that, he's not the most popular guy, but everyone likes the guy.
They'll chant for him.
They're going to chant for him. They're going to chant for him because everyone knows it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Vince, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if it's because you're taking fucking supplements in your old age and it's getting in your head, but you fucking blew up by someone. Probably even Triple H is probably even saying, hey Vince, we gotta calm down and give you maybe a week off or whatever. And you're like, oh God, I'm Vince McMahon. You're the character.
Triple H looked like he might have been like, Titus, you're not on Raw next week. Yeah. Vince, what the fuck? Calm the fuck down. I mean,
yes, you should be disciplined for some little playful tug. Maybe Vince said something early day that was funny or something. The whole point is, I feel really bad for Titus. He seems like a guy, this is really going to hit him really hard.
Well, and I feel like he's probably feeling like, why did I do that? But still, at the same point in time, it's just not something that he's...
The punishment didn't fit the crime.
No. Especially if 60 days is your second drug infraction.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vince.
And of course, especially when you always hear rumors of all those Randy Orton injuries that might have been a cover for something else he might have been doing. Maybe that could have been infractions with the wellness policy. but he was protected. The whole point is this: if Titus was a guy that was bigger in stature, there would have been something like this. Vince McMahon probably felt humiliated for some really weird fucking reason, and felt this is the what I have to do to get back at a guy like fucking Titus O'Neil, company guy, doing all your charity work and appearing in all these places. Fuck, just
barking a lot.
What's that?
Barking a lot.
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah! He got over from that basically,
which was awful. But I do think he's a good wrestler. Anyway.
God, I just feel deflated from something.
No,
I just
so
feel
do
like
I, because you feel bad for the guy. I mean, it's obviously an overreaction. It's not like he fucking physically assaulted Vince on the runway. Shit.
I feel bad. Anyway,